Hello everybody, it's Brad Kerbo again. I'd like to talk to you for a few minutes about some of the neat technologies that probably you knew about, and then there's probably some you really didn't know about. And if you knew about them, then you didn't know they could do what they do, but thought these are, I'm always reading Popular Science and Health Magazine and technology, health technology things, any kind of technology thing. I'm always reading about it, so I'd like to tell you about a few things today. That one of them, which I'm going to show you next, that I have, and then a few others that are kind of neat and kind of scary and you probably heard of, so most likely. But then the first one is an EpiPen, and it's an anti-allergy injector. It's called epinephrine. It's basically a form of synthetic adrenaline. Yeah. So when a wasp, a bee, a hornet, or a spider stings you, then that helps your heart produce an adrenaline, like a high adrenaline, to deal with that allergy and fight that allergy. So, because sometimes when people get out, have a hornet or a spider, they're allergic to that. So then after the part of their body swells up where it prevents them from having blood circulation. So the epinephrine, EpiPen, adrenaline, whatever you want to call it, allows your passages, your circulation, to open up when they're closing at the same time, because of that allergen that's injected in you, like a bee, hornet, wasp, spider, etc. So even some plants like poison sumac and ivy and oak. So, and then there's a neat thing that's kind of weird, is like a home tooth cloning kit, and it's where you just take a fragment of your broken tooth and you put it in the thing and apply some little culture to it, and then it grows you new teeth. But when you grow those new teeth, you can take them to the doctor, or the doctor can do that whole process for you and implant them in you, and then your sensory will grow back, like where you can feel what's happening to your teeth, like your enamel. You can feel that, like when you touch the tip of your tongue against your teeth, you can feel the little sensation of that, the feeling. But it basically, if you had dentures or something, you couldn't do that, because you wouldn't feel in your enamel. Even though some people say, well, you can't feel what your teeth. Your teeth feel a lot, but. And then there's Tiger Balm. It's a Chinese medicine. It's just like a salve or a anti-pain cream or hot cream or anything like that. And it can do like a few different things. It's just like Neosporin. It can be used for burns, sores, muscle tension, pain, anything like that. And there's a 3D printer, and 3D printers can print organs, ears, and noses. And you might think that sounds a little bit funny or unrealistic, but they actually print like hearts. We're getting pretty close to printing lungs, and then people have done the basis for implants for ears, like the little synthetic silicone shapes that make people shape people's ears and stuff, and then they'll put that over the skin and close it, and then it makes a good, a nice looking ear. You could make your ears look like an elf or a hobbit or a goblin, but you could create a really nice shaped human ear or whatever you wanted to do. It's kind of like weird. And there's hot patches and cold patches, and those can do different things. Like hot patches, muscle pain, tension, pain, muscle tension, relaxation. Cold packs can do fever, flu, and cold, and even sometimes virus fever control, like where you put that on your head or part of your body that's really getting affected from the fever, cold, or virus. Flu even. It can help you and can make you feel at a manageable temperature. So, and then there's an ESD, something I told you about earlier in one of my videos. It's an electrostimulation device, and that's a really neat little tool. It can relieve pain, it can relieve muscle tension. It can stimulate tissue stimulation to help build, lost muscles or tissue. And it can even stimulate muscle growth if you work out and apply an ESD electrode on your skin at the same time and turn it to a rate that's good for you. That's what another nice thing is. It's controllable. You can turn it up high, low, medium, and each one can be controlled on some. Each electrode can be controlled, so they're really good things to have if you're exercising or recovering from an injury, breaking bones, whatever your athlete, health, veteran. They're really good things to have, though. So, and there's a Motive headset. This is a really neat one, but it's kind of scary. Same as the next one, sort of scary. But this can do, you can do brain scans at home. You could do it causes you to have increased learning, and you can control electronic devices like your phone, Bluetooth. You can control even like a little remote control drone or plane. It's like really scary, but it's amazing stuff. They have two or three of these out, but 2 or 3 different types of these devices, but on the market, and I'm sure there's more. I just haven't found every one. But then there's the RFID chips, and this has been around for years, but they only started doing it as like an implant in your pet, like your cat, your dog. But recently they started implanting medical history with an RFID, or radio frequency identification tag or chip, and even medical records, and they can even implant your prisoner, your felony charges, or your history, your criminal convictions, and they can do your military records and personal records, like health records, issues that you deal with, no matter what the person who gives you that implant wants to control about you. And that implant, they can write it down, or, it's just kind of like a, it's funny, but like a floppy disk or a USB stick or a flash drive. They put information in you inside your body, and they implant it with a large needle, and then it can be even viewed every time you go into the hospital or the VA, or you get arrested again. They can look it up and on an electronic device. So some different things I wanted to tell you about that are kind of neat, and I forgot, but I just remembered. I want to show you what an EpiPen looks like, an epinephrine injector and an allergen injector, but this is what an EpiPen looks like. It's kind of neat. It's just that little thing down there shows, and if it's discolored, and you inject it in your knee or whatever, your shoulder. It's pretty cool though. Comes in a little tube. There's usually 2 of them per case. Make them for adults and children, And they also give you a test, a little test thing to test it on yourself that doesn't stick at the medication or anything. But thought I would tell you about that, and I thought that'd be pretty interesting for you to know about some of the really neat, and things you probably knew that can really affect your health and mind and body. And so, okay, have a wonderful day. Hope you found this helpful or interesting. Thank you for watching. God bless.